200 mils.
I'm shutting you down, mate. Forward, Lord. How embarrassing. Dodged a bullet.
These poor chaps will be...
I'm gonna buy you some time.
Men like these we brought back from the... Marty?
Sorry.
Henry! Shoot! The chute! It's going too fast! Oh, God. Henry, close and then engage.
Как и предполагалось. Для убийства. Груша получилась! Заебись! А чё?
Андрей, пошел!
Go inside, see the colonel. Don't touch that, it keeps the enemy at bay. Don't spit.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst, quite literally, into the chaotic, first-person shooter action fest that is Hardcore Henry from 2015. Strap in, because this isn't your grandma's quiet Sunday film club. We start right in the thick of it, waking up seeing a beautiful woman, Estelle, who introduces herself as our wife. Things are a bit fuzzy. Turns out we're Henry, and our memory's a bit Swiss cheese at the moment. We quickly discover we're more machine than man, with shiny new cybernetic limbs. Before you head off, if you're enjoying the kind of content I make, please consider liking and subscribing. No pressure, but it truly helps me keep the action coming. Just as Henry's getting acquainted with his new bionic self, the quiet hum of the lab is violently interrupted. Boom! Heavy footsteps and the metallic clang of assault rifles echo through the sterile corridors. Our villain Akan, a telekinetic albino with an army of goons, bursts in. He's not here for a tea party. Estelle, our supposed wife, is swiftly abducted. It's a baptism by fire. Henry, still piecing together his identity, is thrown into his first frantic first-person firefight. Punches connect with a satisfying crunch, bullets whiz past with a terrifying whoosh, and the screen splatters with, well, you get the picture. Talk about a rude awakening. Henry, in a move that screams extreme parkour enthusiast, ends up falling from an airship, plummeting several stories before landing with a bone-jarring thud on a bustling city street. For a guy who just woke up, he's already had quite the day. As he stumbles to his feet trying to make sense of the dizzying cityscape, a dapper, rather eccentric man, Jimmy, materializes out of the crowd. He's played by Charlton Copley, and let me tell you, he's about to become Henry's most frequent and often hilarious companion. Jimmy immediately starts doling out advice, acting like Henry's personal quest giver in this mad, cyberpunk RPG. Jimmy guides Henry through the labyrinthine streets, explaining that Akan wants Henry for his cybernetic components. Naturally, this leads Henry straight into a neon-soaked, spectacularly violent brothel, because where else would a first-person protagonist find himself? The place erupts into a whirlwind of fists, flying bodies, and shattered glass. The crack of Henry's metallic fist meeting a thug's jaw is almost musical, punctuated by the grunts and groans of his unfortunate opponents. It's a frantic, dizzying dance of death, all from Henry's perspective, making you feel every single frantic dodge and desperate blow. Talk about an immersive experience. Inside the brothel, while dodging a particularly enthusiastic henchman Jimmy, ever the exposition fairy, manages to drop some crucial intel. Akan is building an army of cybernetically enhanced soldiers, and Henry is the prototype, a missing piece in his grand evil puzzle. Jimmy emphasizes that Henry's new body is unstable and needs constant energy boosts, otherwise, well, he'll cease to be. With a fresh objective and a quickly dwindling power bar, Henry makes a spectacular exit, leaving a trail of broken furniture and even more broken bad guys in his wake. The tactile feel of Henry scrambling over obstacles is palpable, even if it's just on screen. The action doesn't let up for a second as Henry sprints through a picturesque, albeit deadly, urban park. This isn't your typical leisurely stroll. It's a desperate dash for survival, complete with bullet whizzes and explosive distractions. Suddenly, the serene park becomes a sniper's nest. Red laser dots dance across Henry's view, a stark warning of impending doom. Henry, showing an almost superhuman agility, scales walls and vaults over railings, making a mockery of gravity to get to those pesky long-range threats. The crack of the sniper rifles is deafening, demanding immediate, brutal retaliation from our silent protagonist. No rest for the wicked, or for the cybernetic super soldier. Henry soon finds himself surrounded by a new wave of Akan's goons, each one more ridiculously dressed and aggressively determined than the last. These guys are less trained soldiers and more deranged carnival barkers with automatic weapons. Henry uses everything at his disposal: environmental hazards, precise punches, and whatever discarded weapon he can get his bionic hands on. The thud of bodies hitting the ground, the metallic clang of a pipe used as a weapon, it's all incredibly visceral. It's a glorious, balletic display of first-person ultraviolence. Just when you think Henry might get a moment to breathe, he finds himself on a city bus, which naturally transforms into another battlefield. It's like the universe is actively trying to ensure Henry never has a quiet moment. He's bouncing off seats, sliding down aisles, and delivering a symphony of bone-crunching blows to anyone foolish enough to stand in his way. The cramped space only amplifies the chaos, making every punch and kick feel incredibly claustrophobic and intense. Of course, it all ends with a spectacular explosion, because what's a hardcore Henry scene without some pyro? The sheer force of the blast pushes Henry clear, though not without a few new scrapes. After Jimmy's previous, rather unceremonious demise, he reappears. This time he's sporting a rather fetching hobo-chic look. Henry, bless his confused, cybernetic heart, is understandably baffled. How is this guy still alive? Jimmy, with a twinkle in his eye, simply shrugs it off, providing more cryptic clues and pushing Henry forward. It's here we start to get hints that Jimmy isn't just one guy, but a whole collection of Jimmys. It's like he has infinite lives, which, frankly, is pretty convenient for Henry. Who needs a health pack when you've got a constant stream of new Jimmys? The urban landscape transforms into Henry's personal playground as he embarks on an exhilarating rooftop chase. We're talking proper parkour, folks. Death-defying leaps across yawning gaps between skyscrapers, scrambling up walls and sliding down precarious inclines. Every landing is a bone-jarring thud, every leap a stomach-churning plummet. The wind whips past, the city lights blur, and the constant threat of a misstep keeps the adrenaline pumping. It's a breathtaking sequence that truly highlights the sheer physical capabilities of our cybernetic protagonist, even if he looks a bit like a bewildered cyborg pigeon trying to figure out where the heck he's flying. Henry's relentless pursuit leads him to a swanky, high-rise apartment building, probably belonging to one of Akan's mid-level cronies. The scene transitions from surprisingly stealthy takedowns, where Henry dispatches guards with satisfying quiet efficiency, to a full-blown, ear-splitting firefight. The metallic clang of weapons, the shattering of glass, and the guttural cries of defeated enemies fill the luxurious space. Henry, ever the resourceful warrior, uses the environment to his advantage, sliding over tables and vaulting over couches, turning elegant decor into deadly cover. It's less home invasion and more home renovation by explosion. Just when you think Henry's seen it all, he encounters a genuinely nasty piece of work, a hulking brute with a flamethrower. Because why not? Nothing says hardcore like getting roasted alive. The whoosh and roar of the flames are intense, forcing Henry to constantly move and dodge, the heat radiating off the screen. This isn't just a simple gunfight. It's a desperate dance around scorching torrents of fire. Every near miss feels like a singed eyebrow moment. Henry naturally manages to outsmart and outmaneuver this fiery foe, probably leaving him with a newfound respect for proper fire safety. And just like that, Jimmy's back. Our favorite recurring character pops up again, this time rocking a full-blown punk rock ensemble, complete with leather, spikes, and a sneer. He's like a fashion chameleon, but with less camouflage and more gratuitous violence. He once again delivers a fresh dose of exposition, further unraveling Akan's twisted plans and reminding Henry of his precarious situation. Each Jimmy feels slightly different, adding to the endearing eccentricity of Charlton Copley's performance. It makes you wonder how many outfit changes he keeps stashed away for these emergencies. A brief, glorious moment of relative peace. Henry commandeers a motorcycle tearing through the city streets. For a few precious seconds, we get to experience the sheer thrill of speed, the wind rushing past, the blur of the urban landscape. It's almost a moment of freedom, a brief respite from the constant barrage of bullets and explosions. Of course, this is hardcore Henry, so you know this calm is just the eye of the storm. The purr of the engine, the rumble of the tires on asphalt. It's a sensory treat before the next wave of chaos inevitably crashes down. Facing overwhelming odds, Henry does what any logical, cybernetic super soldier would do. He jumps off a massive bridge. The plummet is exhilarating, the splashdown impactful, and suddenly we're in a whole new ballgame, underwater combat. The murky depths make visibility a challenge, and the muffled sounds add to the claustrophobic tension. Henry battles more of Akan's goons, exchanging blows and dodging knife attacks in slow-motion aquatic ballet. The bubbles, the distorted light, the desperate struggle for air. It's a unique take on the first-person perspective, proving that even a cyborg needs to hold his breath sometimes. After his aquatic adventure, Henry finds himself trudging through a dense, serene forest, a stark contrast to the urban warfare he just endured. But peace is fleeting. He soon stumbles upon a hidden makeshift camp where, you guessed it, another Jimmy awaits. This Jimmy is a bit more grounded, more reflective, and finally starts to peel back the layers of his own existence. He reveals that Akan possesses potent telekinetic abilities, a game changer for Henry's already challenging mission. The sounds of the forest, the rustle of leaves provide a momentary unsettling calm before the next storm. This scene is a massive reveal. Jimmy isn't just one guy who keeps coming back. He's an entire army of clones, each with distinct personalities and skill sets. Henry sees multiple Jimmys, some in medical bays, others gearing up for battle, all orchestrated by the original. Brilliant Jimmy. It's a truly wild moment that solidifies Jimmy's role as Henry's invaluable, albeit unconventional support system. The sheer audacity of the idea, coupled with the visual of an entire room of Charlton Copleys, is both hilarious and genuinely surprising. Who needs a squad when you have yourself multiplied? Armed with fresh intel and a renewed sense of purpose, Henry infiltrates a massive train yard. The metallic clang of the tracks, the echoing sounds of distant trains, and the heavy thud of Henry's boots create an atmospheric tension. He moves with a predatory grace, taking down Akan soldiers one by one, often in brutal close-quarters combat. The screech of metal, the muffled cries, and the desperate scramble for cover make every engagement feel incredibly intense. It's a classic action movie setup, but with that hardcore Henry twist that makes you feel like you're actually there, probably getting grease all over yourself. The train yard action culminates in a spectacular sequence aboard a moving train. Henry battles enemies both inside and on top of the speeding locomotive, performing incredible stunts that defy logic and gravity. The rhythmic clack of the wheels on the tracks provides a frantic heartbeat to the chaos. Naturally, the scene ends with a massive, eye-popping derailment and explosion, sending debris flying and metal screeching. Henry, being Henry, somehow survives the fiery wreckage. Emerging from the smoke and twisted metal with nary a scratch, ready for the next adrenaline-fueled escapade. Get ready, because this is where hardcore Henry truly leans into its name. The film catapults into an epic, no-holds-barred highway chase sequence. Henry, once again on a motorcycle, becomes the focal point of a massive vehicular ballet of destruction. The roar of engines, the screech of tires, and the constant barrage of gunfire create an auditory assault. It's pure, unadulterated adrenaline, with Henry weaving through traffic, dodging bullets, and basically turning the highway into his personal demolition derby. Seriously, if you're a traffic cop in this universe, you've got your work cut out for you. The highway chase intensifies as Henry goes head-to-head with Akan's armored convoy. He's not just driving. He's a blur of motion, leaping from one vehicle to another, scrambling across truck beds and taking down enemies in a dizzying display of acrobatics. The impact of Henry's landings on the roofs of moving cars, the metallic thud of his fists on enemy helmets, and the incessant gunfire create a symphony of destruction. It's an incredibly dynamic sequence, pushing the first-person perspective to its absolute limits, making you feel every bump, every acceleration, and every close call. Just when you thought the highway chase couldn't get any more explosive, Henry, with the resourcefulness of a seasoned video game protagonist, acquires a rocket launcher. And boy, does he use it. The whoosh of the rockets leaving the chamber, followed by the earth-shattering crump of explosions, is pure cinematic ecstasy. Enemy vehicles are obliterated in spectacular fashion, sending fiery wreckage soaring through the air. It's a glorious, over-the-top display of raw firepower, turning the highway into a literal war zone. Who needs traffic laws when you have rockets, right? In a moment of selfless heroism, or perhaps just brilliant strategy, one of the Jimmy clones makes the ultimate sacrifice. With a knowing nod and a final, sarcastic quip, he orchestrates a diversion, creating a critical opening for Henry to press forward. The explosion that follows his demise is both devastating and heartbreaking, a testament to the Jimmy's collective commitment to Henry's mission. It's a somber beat in an otherwise relentless action film, reminding us that even in a world of clones, individuality and sacrifice still hold weight. Also, it's just plain good tactics. After an odyssey of mayhem, Henry finally reaches Akan's imposing, fortress-like citadel. The building itself is a monolithic beast, a testament to Akan's power and paranoia, towering over the city like a silent metal predator. This is it, the final stage. The air crackles with anticipation, the quiet before the biggest storm. The sheer scale of the place is daunting, but Henry, with the unwavering determination of a mute cyborg, charges forward, ready to breach its defenses and finally confront his nemesis. No time for sightseeing, folks, just pure, unadulterated assault. Henry's grand entrance into Akan's citadel is less a polite knock and more a full-blown explosive breach. He bursts in, guns blazing, immediately engaging a small army of guards. The confined spaces of the Citadel's entrance create a brutal gauntlet of close-quarters combat. Every punch, every kick, every bullet fired reverberates with a visceral intensity. The sounds of breaking glass, the groans of falling enemies, and the relentless hail of gunfire create a dizzying cacophony. It's a testament to Henry's singular focus. Get in, kick butt, find Estelle. Simple, yet profoundly effective. The architectural ingenuity of Akan's fortress includes a ridiculously long, incredibly dangerous elevator shaft, which Henry naturally has to traverse. But of course, it's not a simple ride. It's a vertical battlefield. Henry is rappelling, sliding, and even falling, all while fighting off more of Akan's persistent goons. The sensation of speed, the rushing wind, and the dizzying heights amplify the tension. It's a truly innovative action sequence, turning a mundane mode of transport into a death trap. Honestly, a simple set of stairs would have been less dramatic, but also way less hardcore Henry. Finally, after all that relentless action, Henry finds Estelle. A moment of reunion? A tender embrace? Oh, sweet summer child, this is hardcore Henry. In a gut-wrenching twist, Estelle reveals her true colors. She's not just working with Akan, she's his sister. Bam! Plot twist delivered with a brutal punch. She drugs Henry, leading to his inevitable capture. The feeling of betrayal is palpable, a crushing blow after everything Henry has endured. It's a masterful subversion of expectations, leaving Henry and us reeling from the shock. Talk about a bad wife day. With Henry at his mercy, Akan, in a delightfully villainous monologue, finally spills the beans. Henry isn't just a random amnesiac. He's Akan's first successful cybernetic super soldier, the prototype for an army. Akan wants to use Henry's brain to control his new army. It's here we also learn that Jimmy isn't just a brilliant strategist. He's also Henry's creator, the mastermind behind his original cybernetic enhancements. The chilling truth about Henry's past and Akan's grand evil scheme is laid bare, adding layers of complexity to the relentless action. It's like finding out your favorite toy was assembled by a supervillain. Just when all hope seems lost, the cavalry arrives, and the cavalry is all Jimmy's. Every iteration of Jimmy we've met, and then some, converges on Akan's fortress in a massive coordinated assault. It's an epic sight to behold, a literal army of Charlton Copleys, each with their own unique fighting style and personality. The base erupts into utter pandemonium, a cacophony of explosions, gunfire, and Jimmy's distinct shouts. It's a beautifully orchestrated chaos, providing Henry with the perfect, glorious distraction needed to break free and turn the tide. With the Jimmys unleashing hell, Akan's fortress descends into total chaos. Henry, now free, joins the fray, fighting alongside his multiplied friend. It's a frenetic, multi-front assault, with explosions rocking the building, bullets flying in every direction, and the metallic clang of cybernetic fists meeting flesh and armor. The sheer scale of the battle is overwhelming, making you feel like you're caught in the middle of the most intense, gloriously over-the-top video game level imaginable. The Jimmys, each a master of their chosen craft, add a layer of hilarious brutality to the already insane proceedings. Henry finally gets his chance to confront Akan, and it's not a polite conversation. Akan, being the smug, telekinetic albino he is, unleashes his full psychic might. Objects fly, Henry is slammed against walls, and the very environment becomes a weapon against him. The force of Akan's telekinetic blows is immense, shaking Henry's perspective and sending jarring vibrations through the screen. It's less a fight and more a desperate struggle against an almost godlike power. Henry, battered but unbroken, has to dig deep to find a way to counter an enemy who can literally throw him across the room with a thought. The fight with Akan becomes a brutal, no-holds-barred melee. Henry, despite his cybernetic enhancements, is pushed to his absolute limits. Akan, with his raw physical power and telekinetic boosts, is a formidable opponent. Every punch connects with a sickening thud, every block resonates with a metallic clang. The sounds of heavy breathing, grunts of effort, and the constant impact of blows create an incredibly raw and visceral experience. It's a fight for survival, for revenge, and for the very concept of free will. This isn't just about winning. It's about enduring an absolute beating. The emotional stakes reach their peak as Henry is forced to confront Estelle again. Her betrayal still stings, but now she's a direct threat, actively aiding Akan. In a truly heart-wrenching, albeit necessary moment, Henry makes the agonizing decision to eliminate her. It's a harsh reminder that in this world, sentimentality is a luxury Henry cannot afford. The crack of the impact, the suddenness of the event, it's a shocking, brutal moment that underscores the film's relentless, unsentimental tone. No time for apologies, just survival. Finally, after what feels like an eternity of punches, explosions, and telekinetic assaults, Henry delivers the finishing blow to Akan. It's a brutal, decisive end to the main antagonist, a satisfying culmination of Henry's relentless journey. The villain's body falls, probably with a dramatic thud or a spectacular plummet, signifying the end of his twisted reign. The silence that follows the final act is almost deafening, a stark contrast to the non-stop chaos that preceded it. Henry has faced his creator, his betrayer, and his nemesis, and emerged victorious, though probably needing a very long nap. With Akan defeated and his base crumbling, Henry makes his final triumphant escape. He's battered, bruised, and probably needs a serious system reboot, but he's free. He stands on a precipice overlooking the sprawling city, a lone figure against the urban sprawl. He survived an onslaught of relentless action, faced unimaginable odds, and forged his own path. This journey, though violent, is a testament to resilience, the fight for self-discovery, and the power of, well, really cool cybernetic upgrades. It reminds us that even when life throws telekinetic villains and an army of clones at you, you can still kick butt and find your way. Stay tough, stay hardcore, and I'll catch you next time.